Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am coming in today to participate in the Smiley 2018 challenge, or not challenge, but participation. And for those who don't know, the Smiley was started by Athena with Craftaholic, Hattie with Hattie Souls, Lisa Kish with And So On. And so it is based around positive body image, as well as mental health issues or concerns and different things of that nature. And so I have, like several people I've seen their video have contemplated doing the video, and I have too. But then I was like, oh no, well maybe that wouldn't necessarily help anybody, or whatever the case may be. I will go back and forth with it, and then I kind of forgot about it doing it. And then I come to find out there was a lost email from over a month ago between Hattie and I, where she reached out to me to be an ambassador. Thank you so much, Hattie, because once I saw that, I was like, okay, God, I hear you. So that is what I am going to talk about today. And before I get into it, I do want to go ahead and warn you, whatever the case may be, that for me, I will be speaking a lot about my faith, about God, about the Holy Spirit, and how all of this kind of works together for me in my walk. So if you're not a Christian or a religious person, or whatever the case may be, you might want to click off of this and just hold on out. I have another video coming up on Sunday, and keep an eye out for my video on Sunday. But if you would like to just kind of stick around and find out about my story, then go ahead on and stick around. I'm going to go ahead and jump right into it. So one of the things we're supposed to do is make a dress that we will feel beautiful in and that we love. And I have mine on here. You would have seen this already. I'll pop up a quick picture here. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail of it. This is the M. McCall 6886, where I did the full bust adjustment and the slash and spread method. And so I share all of that in the previous video. I will link that in the iCards up above, and also link it below. And you can go ahead and check that out. And so let me get into sewing and why it makes me love myself. So for me, like I said, I will take it from a slightly different perspective, because for me, this has been a faith walk and faith journey for me. For me, what I have loved about sewing, and I do apologize for my neighbor, I think is babysitting or watching some dogs, so I apologize for the barking. But at any rate, hold on. Okay, so I am back. I had to let the dog go ahead because that dog was barking crazy. But anyway, so I wanted to come in and bring from a slightly different perspective on how it infused. The sewing was really infused by my faith walk and the journey that I had experienced over a few years ago, that has brought me closer to God. And through that closeness with God has brought me more in tune with this gift and talent He has blessed me with in sewing. And so let me just start with just sharing with you. I've already shared kind of my growing up sewing story. I'll just link the tag videos for that, so I won't get into that. But let me just fast forward all the way to most recently in the past few years that has brought me to where I am today, and why sewing makes me love myself. And so it is through, it was a few years ago that I was not here where I am now, but in Wisconsin, where I was a director, executive role, and I had a team, and our entire department was cut. And so while it necessarily wasn't a surprise to us, anytime when you lose your main stream of income suddenly, and it affects so many people, it throws you off. And so also during that time after that, it was shortly thereafter, also my marriage began to suffer, and my husband and I separated. We were separated for some time. And while I'm not going into any of those details here, for those who follow me through the Fabric Boutique, you'd have heard a little bit more about that, because there is, through all of this that has happened, God still ends up getting the glory. Everything that may be bad that happens to us, I strongly believe that God will use it for our good in some way, shape, or form if we are in tune and listening to what it is that he is trying to tell or show us. And so during that time of separation, I was struggling with obviously being separated, struggling with the fact that I was unemployed, and there was some other family things that was going on at that time. So there was a big trifecta of things that was happening at that time. But the one thing that I seemed to gravitate back to that I really enjoyed, that brought me peace or a momentary silence of everything that was going on in the world, was sewing. And during that time is when I had discovered Mimi G. All of us know who Mimi G is. She's absolutely phenomenal. But it was through seeing her YouTube video, and then I discovered everybody else behind that. But her YouTube video on sewing and different things of that nature, and hearing a little bit about her story really resonated with me, and I began picking up sewing again. And so during this time, while I did pick up sewing and it did bring me a little bit reprieve, I was still dealing with the fact that A, I'm separated, B, I'm unemployed, and here are some other things that's going on in my life. And so during that time, I also entered into therapy to help me work through some issues and different things that I needed to deal with that was from my past, and just deal with the circumstances that were at hand as well. And then also the other thing that I did that was most important to me, that ended up being the catalyst for why the sewing for me has really taken off, was the time that I began to spend with God in prayer and reading his word and crying, and just out of frustration or just everything that was going on at that time. And so what I would do is sit on my bed, sit in a chair, have a pillow on my lap and a prayer journal on top of the pillow, and I would just journal and pray. And so during that time, fast forward, during that time is when I was given the vision of prayer and devotional pillows and prayer journals. And so I began sewing prayer and devotional pillows. And so there are square pillows with the pocket and holder and everything like that. If you've seen the website, you already know what they look like. And also I created prayer journals. And so it was during that time that I was still able to sew, because I decided also to get back into garment sewing as well. But what took precedence for me was the prayer pillows, and having that outlet that, okay, I love to sew, it brings me so much peace, but to also have something that can help someone else. So regardless of the fact that what I was going through was very devastating at the time, heart-wrenching at the time, not knowing what was going to happen with my marriage, not knowing what was going to happen with a job or anything of that nature, it was having the creative outlet of sewing. And what I began to love about it and appreciate about it is that it was a gift from God. Not everybody has a gift of sewing or the talent or what have you to sew, or even have the interest in sewing, right? That's not for everybody. But I began to appreciate that gift that God began to give me. And that's what I began to love, is the gift. And began to appreciate being able to utilize that gift to help others. So I realized that the sewing wasn't just for me. It was to help and bless others through the prayer and devotional pillows and other avenues and different things of that nature. And so for me, it brought a lot of peace that way. It definitely calmed a lot of my nerves and different things that was going on during that time. And so yeah, that is, in a nutshell, that is what brought me to loving the gift God gave me. Which in turns allowed me to love myself, because now I'm appreciating this gift, this talent that God gave me. Yes, he gave it to others too, but he gave me specifically the gift that he's given me to execute in a way that not only benefits me, yes, but first and foremost to benefit others. And so that is what I wanted to share about it. In that, as you all probably know or maybe realize, yes, my marriage is fully restored. Praise God. And my husband gives me ideas all the time on sewing. And it's just funny how everything just comes full circle. Again, it all works for your good. It all works for your good. And out of that, I will say this in closing, is out of that, I have a heart as a wife, as a woman of God, to be a help to other wives as they may be faced with challenges or difficulties in their marriage. So for anybody out there that may be dealing with or struggling with or having challenges in their marriage, I do encourage you to talk to someone, whether it be a therapist or a prayer group, because I was part of a prayer group during this time as well. It was Praying Wives group. And from there, I developed, again, if you follow the Fabric Boutique, which is my business, there is Wives Still Pray. And I have a whole separate Facebook group for that and everything like that. But I'll leave a link below just as a free resource for those who would like specific prayers, 7 essential prayers for your husband in marriage. I will leave that link below and you can go to that page and get it. The website itself actually is not, there's the blog and the Wives Still Pray page is up, but I'm currently working on doing a lot of updates, and I'm actually working with Jessica Lorraine here on YouTube. She will be helping to make some updates to my website. But other than that, I think that's it. Again, not taking away that, from the premise of, yes, I do love myself, but the reason is because I became more connected and fell in love with the gift and the talent that God gave me, and knowing that it wasn't just for me, it's for someone else. And so I hope that makes sense. It's not overly deep at all, obviously. But for me, the foundation is having that relationship with God and being able to bring forth my gifts and talents in a way that may help others in some way, shape, or form, or encourage people one way, shape, or form. And so I hope that makes sense. Feel free, if you have any questions, feel free to go ahead and leave them in the comments below, or you can email me at NaturalDane, or if you're interested in the 7 essential prayers for your husband in marriage, that will be linked down below. And so, yeah, that is it. Again, thank you again, Athena, Hattie, and Lisa for this wonderful challenge, or I keep calling it a challenge. Is it a challenge? This opportunity to share my smiley story. So thank you, everybody. Do have a blessed week. I will be coming up next. Look out for a video on Sunday. All right, everybody. Have a blessed one. We will talk to you soon.